Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Senator Pratt, for bringing this amendment. Mr. President and members, our energy future in Minnesota is one of the things that's so important for us to be looking at, and we've had discussions for many, many years around this, and I think you'll hear from many of us three things that need to be considered as we are moving forward. Our energy future needs to be cleaner, but it also needs to be reliable, and it needs to be affordable. And when we look at the plan that was put in place last year, if you can call it a plan, the Clean Energy by 2040, it's an idea that looks good on a bumper sticker. It makes people feel good, but the plan itself is lacking when you look at the reality of what we face in Minnesota and the energy needs that we have. Last year's bill focused primarily on wind and solar, and we've heard from group after group, especially MISO that manages our grid, that there is a certain level that we can sustain of wind and solar before the reliability is gone and power outages start to happen. And Mr. President, when do those power outages happen? When we need energy the most, when the temperatures are at their coldest or when the temperatures are at their highest. And that's when we absolutely need our energy the most. And the one thing I think about over the years, Senator Senjum worked very hard on different ideas and plans, and he had a plan that was called Clean Energy First. And what I like about Senator Pratt's amendment is it incorporates many of those same things that Senator Senjum worked on. Senator Senjum and I didn't agree on everything, but I believe as we work forward with an energy plan in Minnesota, that is actually key. That we're going to have people from both sides of the aisle and even people on the same sides of the aisle that have some disagreements, but have those conversations and come to a plan that can be incorporated that will keep our energy affordable and reliable as it gets cleaner and cleaner. That is the best way forward. And Senator Pratt's amendment, this A+ energy plan, is getting at just that, Mr. President. It is looking at using all forms of electric generation that will help reduce carbon emissions, not just one or two specific ones. And Mr. President, I think everybody who gets involved in the energy sector soon realizes the technologies that are out there being worked on, the different things that are evolving as we speak, have incredible potential. But we still aren't really aware of every single one that is there. And so when we look at a plan like Senator Pratt has in front of us, it is opening those doors and keeping them open to these new technologies. The plan we had last year, once again, focused on two. And that really makes it difficult for some of these other technologies to emerge and come to their potential. And that's what we absolutely need to be doing. And I think there are other parts of this bill that we look at also later today. We are not looking at the entire scope of our energy future. We've been laser focused on two sectors. But if we are truly going to have our energy future be cleaner while it remains reliable and affordable for Minnesotans, we must include all of these other technologies. The carbon sequestration, North Dakota is doing that, in pumping it into the ground. And they're looking to include ethanol facilities in Minnesota in that same thing, and to partake in that. We'll hear amendments later around nuclear. I think many energy sector experts will tell you you cannot get carbon-free electric generation without nuclear being a part of the mix. So, Mr. President, this amendment before us today, some folks are going to say this, it hasn't been vetted. And again, there are no notes on our tables from these different groups. Again, Mr. President, we don't represent groups and stakeholders. We represent the citizens of Minnesota and those who live within our districts. And we need to keep in mind their best interests. And as I said, Senator Senjum had many hearings that incorporated the vast majority of what is in Senator Pratt's amendment. We've had those discussions. This is bringing them together in a little bit different way, but it's a way that we know will work, that will open up the doors for a lot of different technologies so that we can get to that cleaner, affordable, and reliable energy future in Minnesota. This is an easy green vote, members. Support the Pratt Amendment.